Hi everyone, my name is Merdiye. I hope you are so well. In this video, I will explain the behavioral questions that human resource professionals ask during the interview and how the ideal answers should be. As a human resource professional with 18 years of experience, I am enabled to use think like human resource professionals and give them the ideal answers that are most appropriate for you. I'm not going to talk about the things you shouldn't do. My main focus is on what you have to do. By the way, you can follow the questions and answers from my timeline in the explanation section. Additionally, you can check the subtitles if you want to watch them in your language. How do you deal with pressure or stressful situation? You will need to prepare to respond appropriately because the interviewer doesn't want to hear that you never get stressed. After all, everyone feels stress at one time or another at work. The employer wants to find out whether you understand how pressure affects you and how you manage it. Be careful how you respond. If you say you get stressed when you are given multiple projects and you know the job requires you to juggle many assignments at once, you will look like you are not a good fit for the position. Consider mentioning how a little stress can be a helpful motivator for you. Try to provide an example of a time when the stress of a difficult project helped you be a more creative and productive worker. Talking things through and being in constant communication about what needs to be done and asking people what they need to get their job done is a way that our previously handled stressful situation and leadership role, keeping the whole team more calm. Although I do enjoy some stress and role, keep me motivated with the challenge, I know that there needs to be a balance of healthy stress and not too much pressure leading to chaos. I think the best way that I found to keep balance in the face of handing over stress from the difficult situation is to look at the facts and to keep an objective, impartial point of view rather than getting put into my personal opinion. When I look at the situation from the outside, I can see far more clearly what needs to be done without getting stressed. Communication is one of the best ways that I know to manage a stressful, high-pressure environment, as I find that most stress that people is due to confusion and not feeling clearly about what to do. What motivates you? This question is known to render many candidates speechless. It is asked to get an idea as to why you do what you do. High achievers naturally would answer this question using the sentences like, I like to solve complex problem, or I like to teach and mentor youngsters, or I like to make efforts to help improve the lives of people, etc. Here you should mention your goal, vision, passion for life. Be honest yet intelligent what you say and describe. My biggest motivation is success. This is what keeps me motivated all the time to perform my level higher. Knowing and believing the fact that my hard work will help me and achieving greater professional heights keep me going. I believe that aligning my motivational source along with the company's values and vision is a win-win path that will reap sweeter fruits in my career. Knowing that a light at the end of the tunnel encourages me and inspires me to go through the darks of the tunnel. It may be professional or personal life. Success always acts a booster to me and my work. Why do you want to change your career path? Every question the hiring manager asks during the interview process is designed to figure out whether you are the right person for the job. In this case, They are trying to determine whether you are someone who will thrive at the company. They are looking for signs you are a person who is building their career intentionally and that you can get along with bosses, colleagues, and clients. They won't want to hear that you were fired for cause, that you are leaving because you hate your coworkers or employer, or anything that success you won't be successful at their organizations. To be honest, it was not actively looking for a new job. I'm happy with my current position and organization. I came across this job posting on a popular job board and applied immediately. On reading more about the company and responsibilities aligning with this profile, I decided to apply. My qualifications and expertise are a direct match with the requirements of this role. But the core industry is completely different than the one I'm currently in. This presents me with a wonderful opportunity to update my skills and branch out into a new industry. That is my reason for the job change. Tell me about a time you made a mistake. You are probably not too eager to dig into past blunders when you are trying to impress an interviewer and land a job. But talking about a mistake and winning someone over aren't mutually exclusive. In fact, if you do it right, it can help you. The key is to be honest without placing the blame on other people, then explaining what you learned from your mistake and what actions you took to ensure it didn't happen again. At the end of the day, employers are looking for folks who are self-aware, can take feedback, and care about doing better. Talk about a real failure you had, starting by describing the situation. Explain what happened clearly and quickly. Take responsibility and don't make excuses for the failure. Show what you learned from the experience. Talk about how you used the experience to become the better at your job and to avoid similar mistakes. Don't talk about anything that was a disaster for your employer. Pick a real failure but not anything too costly. Don't share any story that makes you sound careless in general. It's better to share a one-time failure that you quickly learned from and moved past. Be brief and concise. Keep your answer to 2-3 minutes. In my last job, our CEO gave me to change to interview and hire entry-level people for our then. I chose to hire someone who seemed to have a lot of potential but also worries me. The person I recruited didn't have crisis management competence and responsibilities. In addition, when I will recruit from now on, I will determine all requirements of the job and make a recruitment decisions accordingly. I also realized how important every hiring decision is, which made me a better manager over the last few years of my career. Since then, I have recruited 8 new people. I've never such a bad experience again, but it was a great lesson to learn early in my career. Tell me about the time you disagreed with your boss. Behavioral interview questions are designed to get you talking about your past experience, to review what it likes to work with you. In this case, the hiring manager wants to know how you are communicating. The ideal anecdote here is anecdote, where you handle a conflict professionally and learn from experience. It's generally believed that past performance indicates future performance. This question is designed to understand how to resolve any disputes with your potential boss or colleagues in the future. One time I disagreed with my boss. One of my reports asked him to meet an earlier than usual deadlines so he could present it at the next meeting with the client. I asked if my other responsibilities could wait. He didn't want to do that either. Next, we reviewed the report. Then we determined what should be absolutely necessary in the report. He realized how long it took to complete this report. In the end, he agreed to delay on my other work. As a result, he was able to present the report at the next meeting with the client. We both left with the better understanding how the other person works and what it needs to get job done.